Welcome back, everyone. Now, switching gears to the product spotlights from the private sector. To begin with, we have Kuang Xiaole from Grab. One of the pioneer engineers at the company, Xiaole is the head of engineering for deliveries for Grab. Yep, you now know who to contact if you have a problem with your deliveries. She has been in Singapore since 2009 when she moved here for her master's education at the National University of Singapore. Folks, if you have any questions, please submit them via the Q&A function and also upvote your favorite questions. Let's hear from you, Xiaole.
Okay, thank you so much for that wonderful introductions. Yes, I'm responsible for the deliveries department from Grab. So if you have any complaints or problems about your Grab food orders, I'm the one who is responsible for it. So I will be honored to hear about all your complaints and solve them one by one. So without further ado, let's begin our presentation today. Can bring up my slides. Okay, so first of all, I want to say thank you all for having me here. I'm delighted to represent Grab today and spend the next 15 minutes to share with you guys in Grab how we leverage technology to transform traditional business. Next slide, please. So before we dig into some details, I do want to spend a few minutes to do a brief introduction about Grab and our mission. So Grab actually started from 8 years ago. The initial purpose was very simple. We want to provide a safe taxi ride for women in Malaysia. So as we started to work on this, very soon we realized there was so much more we can do. With all those customers coming to our platform and all those drivers who have joined us, we want to cater their needs from different angles. So ever since then, our mission has become creating opportunities, uplifting lives, which is going to help drive Southeast Asia moving forward. So with this mission in mind, where are we today in this journey? Next slide, please. So today, Grab has been already operating in 394 cities across 8 countries. We got our payment license already in 6 of them. In terms of the total downloads, we have reached 198 million in total. Our core business are across 3 different domains: transportation, deliveries, and digital finance. What's more to that is we're also providing other complementary services. For example, you can actually buy movie tickets or buy your insurance in our Grab app, etc. So fast forward to 2020. Next slide, please. So I believe everyone here has experienced unexpected challenges during this COVID period. One of the biggest challenges we have faced in Grab is actually about this increasing growth in our deliveries. So during the COVID period, countries applied lockdown and people got restrictions to stay at home. This actually resulted in a 2x traffic volume increase in our delivery system. In reality, this actually means a lot of hungry people comes to our platform and looking for solutions. However, what does this mean for technology? So next slide, please. So the first thing come to our mind is, okay, now people are forced to order food online. They cannot go outside. So how can we help to provide a seamless online ordering experiences for them to transit from offline to online? So you think about what are you do the most frequently before COVID for your lunch or dinner. I think for people in Singapore, this is quite typical that you might just choose one hawker center nearby your house or nearby your company. Then depends on your mood that day, you're going to select one store, then buy some dishes from that store, then enjoy it with your family or colleagues or friends together. You could not do that anymore during the COVID because you're forced to stay at home. So how can we enable that ordering experiences in Grab? That is the first problem which we're trying to solve here. Then a follow-up question becomes, okay, let's assuming we solved the ordering problem already. What's next? With all those orders coming to our system, how can we fulfill all of them with Grab drivers? And more importantly, how can we maximal our driver incomes in our platform with all those orders that are responsible for delivery. So today I want to spend the remaining time to talk about the different technologies we have been applied to solve these two problems one by one. Next slide, please. Okay, the first problem is about the seamless online ordering experiences. The tech solutions we come up with was actually quite straightforward. So instead of onboarding different restaurants one by one, we changed it to become onboarding different stores in a batch. So for example, you can actually imagine all the stores belongs to one Hokkyo center will be onboarded into our system in one batch. So after that, the backend system is going to take over. We are going to mix up all the menus across different stores together. Then everything becomes transparent to our customer. All you need to do is open your Grab app, click one of such mixed merchants, then you can actually order different dishes across different stores in your order. So think about what does this mean for a customer. So first of all, you get to order different dishes for your family member. Second of all your food actually going to deliver to your house at one time. And most importantly, you only need to pay delivery fee for once. So we actually adopted this idea into Singapore first as an experiment. So over the 10 participated Hokkyo center, we observed 2x order increase and revenue growth very soon within 1 month. Then later, we expanded this idea to 188 Hokkyo centers island-wise. This is the success trends we observed in Singapore. So how about other countries regionally? Next slide, please. So we actually did very similar things in Malaysia as well. The result coming back is also very promising. So over Malaysia, we actually observed 66,000 orders fulfilled by 133 windows. We're not only doing this for GrabFood, which is across Malaysia, we're also doing this for our GrabMart merchants. So over the Mart side, we actually observed 20% increase in terms of daily orders. So you guys can see with what I just described, with this mix and match product launched, we actually makes the online ordering experiences becomes more convenient for our customer. So now let's talk about our drivers. What can we do for them? Next slide, please. So the second problem I mentioned earlier is about fulfillment. With all those orders coming into the system, how can we make sure each of them got allocated to Grab driver? At the same time, we also want to maximize our driver income. So the technical solution about this problem is we want to optimize our batching platform. So basically the principle becomes we want to batch as many orders as possible for one driver to deliver at a time. From mathematics, the problem we're trying to solve here is called vehicle routing problem. So the formal definition is giving you a set of customers which needs to be delivered and a set of drivers who are available at that moment. The algorithm is responsible to create an optimal routing plan. So the diagram in the screen actually gives us a very simple example in terms of what the algorithm is going to do. So take one merchant as an example. All the stores here representing different customer locations. In this simple example, we assumed we only have 3 drivers available. So what the algorithm is going to return to us is actually a routing plan to tell each of the drivers what customer you need to cover and in what sequence. So this is the foundation of the problem we're trying to solve. What makes this problem even more complicated for Grab is from one side, we're trying to minimize the overall trip time for all drivers. However, from the other side, we still need to obey all those different constraints in our system. So the first important constraints is actually about our driver fleet capacity. So Grab drivers actually got different fleets. You can see we have car drivers, we have bicycle drivers, and we have motor car drivers as well. So it's quite intuitive. We could not dump the same amount of order to a car driver versus a bicycle driver. These two got different capacity. And the second constraint we are facing here actually is about the order delivery time window. So different order type actually have different tolerance in terms of the delivery time SLA. You can imagine if you have meetings all day and you actually got only 1 hour break in the middle from 12 to 1 p.m. for your lunch, then you are probably quite sensitive in terms of when the food is going to be delivered to your house because you only got 1 hour. Versus you are only trying to get some fruits or some essentials from the supermarket tonight. Then probably 1 hour or even 2 hours delay are still acceptable, or you are still could manage it. So this is the SLA problem I'm talking about here. So what we did is we are trying to solve the foundation of the mathematics problem, and we're also considering all those constraints Grab system needs to follow. In addition to that, we also utilize our driver app. So our driver app is sending back in real time constantly about driver data. So for example, the driver ETA to the next location, or the driver's current speed, or we're even considering the different road distance. So we collected all those data from driver app in real time. Then we feed all those inputs into our machine learning platform, which actually help our algorithm to generate the optimal routing plan. So next slide, please. So this actually gives us a very simple example in terms of what kind of result our algorithm is going to return to us. So in this map, you can actually say this one driver got pick up 2 different orders from the same location, location A. Then these 2 orders are actually got delivered to 2 different customers. One is from location C and one is from location D. So the delivery address are different. However, we managed to assign one driver to deliver both orders. You can see from the map, actually the routing path is totally overlapped. So there's no detour at all. So this is the optimization we're talking about. We're trying to optimize multiple pickup from the same merchants or even from the nearby merchants. And in terms of the driver available pool, we're also trying to expand it. We're trying to consider as many driver candidates as possible. So in addition to consider the drivers who are idle at the moment, we add on to consider other drivers who are actually in transit already, as long as he or she is heading to the same direction. So with all those considerations into our algorithm, we actually managed to optimize the performance quite a lot. So we adopted this in Singapore again as an experiment. So the initial result was quite optimal. So we actually observed around 30% increase in terms of batching rate around CBD area. At this moment, as we're talking, we're trying to adopt the same optimizations for all the drivers regionally as well. Next slide, please. Okay, so that basically comes to the end of my sharing today. Due to the time restrictions, I can only talk about 2 simple tech solutions we did for COVID. For more information, you can always recheck our Grab Tech blog. So in my last slides, I actually put a link, but it's okay. You can always Google Grab Tech blog. That will be your first result to show in your Google search result. I want to thank you again for having me here. That's it from me. So hand it back to the host.
Xiaole, many thanks indeed, and a shame you didn't have time to go into more. I know Grab is doing an awful lot of innovative things with tech way beyond the complex problems of moving people around urban environments.